So if you saw the thumbnail to this video, you may have seen that Nico is holding a desk with a hole in it, and well, that's because he hit his desk today in the match between G2 and Vitality. How did we get here? Well, luckily for you, we're about to find out. So let's take a look at the third map between these two teams right after a quick word from today's sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by Skin Club. Now, you must be over 18 before you play on the site, but if you are and you do decide to play, Skin Club is a site that has over 100 cases that you can choose to unbox. Now, you can either unbox them individually like we're doing on screen now, or if that's not your thing, you can actually put a bunch of cases into a case battle and play versus another player, where the winner gets to keep everything that was unboxed during the battle. And when it's all said and done, you can use the upgrader to take the skins that you got that you're not the biggest fan of and see if you can maybe get away with something better. And then once you finish, you can actually withdraw any skin that you want right onto your Steam account. If you decide to check out the site, make sure you guys use my link for a 7% deposit bonus. Just make sure that you play responsibly, and let's get right back into the video. Yeah, I mean, it was a really exciting day for Counter-Strike. I mean, both of the semifinals were really good if you got the chance to watch them. G2 versus Vitality, and then, of course, FaZe versus Na'Vi. Both of them, again, like I said, were fantastic. I did want to cover the FaZe game, but I think that it's a little bit more entertaining to talk about this game, given that Nico had quite the performance. I won't spoil too much about it yet, but we'll talk about it as it comes up. Starting things off with a pistol, of course, Vitality going for a typical A split. Very strong on pistol round because, you know, you can't really contest mid as a CT when you have to worry about the Glocks coming through. They jump through the jungle smoke. Nico is patiently waiting for him, finds a nice 3K. Nico looking sharp as ever so far in CS2. It's been really enjoyable watching him play, and the rest of the round will sort of go the way of G2. And off of the back of that 3K, we're actually going to see Nico buy the M4A4. Now, I mean, worth mentioning, you know, it's still a little bit of a debate between which M4 is better, and I really do enjoy seeing this on the second round. Sometimes you're playing against Galils, so it's good to get the rifles up. A lot of people are buying MP9s and FAMASas on this round, and I think it can be a little dangerous. Now, one of the things about this round is that, you know, you're playing against the half buy from Vitality, but that doesn't really account for Zywoo going absolutely bonkers in the B site, finds 2 and completely cracks it open, make that actually 3, and that's going to leave our hero, Mr. Nico, to do nothing but save and play for exits with Malbs, which is exactly what they're going to do. They're going to clean up a little bit. Malbs is going to get a 3K and save his gun, but look at that. That is devastation for G2 after I mean, again, they won the pistol and they just get completely destroyed, and you can immediately see the repercussion to losing a round like that. They go on to lose these next 3 rounds, and what we have here is a half buy with 2 saved guns from the previous gun round that we didn't cover. And I mean, what do you really expect to do here? I mean, G2, they are in rough shape, but if we think about this round from Vitality's perspective, I mean, they're in really good shape. Think about it. They just won the second gun round, and they know that they are playing against an easy round as far as CS goes. They're not playing against a full buy on the other team, so they want to go out A. And I actually really like this call from Apex, but the only thing that I'm not a big fan of is the lack of smokes. They know that they saved 2 M4s last round, so they want to make sure that they minimize the amount of damage that those guns can do. But you know, it's fine. Everything seems to be going well. They're coming out early. We're going to have the first contact for Snacks. He's going to be in Palace, not looking too bad. He finds the first one. In the meantime, Monacy peeks off the distraction. Malbs as well is going to peek out into ramp, and it's looking terrible. Vitality kind of dropped the ball here. They lose all of their individual duels, and now G2 are sitting pretty, and it will just be Flames to go down right here to Nico, and that is going to secure the team ace, but more importantly, winning the half buy, which single-handedly saves the money of G2 and kind of sends a little momentum back their way. But luckily for Vitality, Zywoo has other plans. He's going to go for the opening pick here with the scout, no less, and he will find it onto Hunter. Now look at this. Zywoo is actually having quite the game. He's 13-4, and so if you're looking again at G2 now, you need to make sure that you don't give this round back. I mean, they just stole the round before on a half buy, and they don't want to let Vitality creep back in. And these are the kind of times, you know, 4v5, you don't want to give it away. The stage is going to be very loud, and so you want to play a little bit more aggressive. You want to play off momentum. Nico walks through the bottom, can't smoke into 3. Monacy, luckily though, is actually going to pick up some of the pieces there. It's a 3-on-2, leaving it just on Zywoo and Apex. Again, remember, we need to convert this round if we're G2. This is the last buy that Vitality are going to have. If we win this, we're sitting pretty. And remember, again, just to paint the picture, this is map 3. We don't want to lose it. We're not allowed to lose, or we're done. And Monacy, he's actually just kind of running around trying to make the window jump. It seems like he kind of just forgot that Zywoo was top mid. Eventually, Zywoo switches over to the AK, secures the 3K, and that's going to be a devastating round loss for G2, and the frustrations are definitely mounting. And, you know, remember, Nico kind of, you know, so you know, because of the half buy that we won earlier, our money's still pretty good. We actually can invest into double ops. It will be Monacy and Snacks of all people actually to pick up that second op, which is pretty exciting. We'll keep an eye on that later on. And this round is going to be more of the same. Now, of course, Vitality going to do that fake mid pressure. Two people are walking under. I say fake mid pressure because they're not actually taking mid. They're waiting for the guys from Underpass to group up with them. Nico is going to be our connector player, and this is where we can actually start the actual analysis. Now, connector players typically want to stay around here. They're going to have help from their opper sometimes, which is exactly what's going to happen here. And Nico wants to be annoying in towards Underpass. Unfortunately, Apex is going to phase the smoke and find him. Luckily, though, that second op that Snacks bought is actually going to deliver a pretty spicy 2K and allow them to convert this round. And of course, after they win that round, it's going to start another back and forth. Look at this. We've traded rounds. Money is a little suspect on Vitality. So what are you going to do if you're on G2? You know that you're going to have a big advantage, whether it's in utility or in weaponry. So you want to take mid control. It's very, very difficult for the T's to do anything useful if they cannot contest mid. They can either do A smokes or B smokes, but that's not going to be good enough because they're still going to be outmatched with the guns. Now, we have a very aggressive mid setup for G2. Nico's going to find 2 kills in towards top mid, and off the back of this, we're actually going to see G2 kind of group up again and get ready to fight mid as a team. So look at all the pieces coming together. We have Malbs and Khan, Monacy's window, and Hunters coming from ladder to get ready to fight Cat. Now, they need a flash, so what Snack's going to do? He's going to flash over from B, which is going to allow for everybody from G2 to kind of re-peek into mid. Hunter finds 1, Malbs finds 1, Hunter gets a second, and that's a clean mid round from G2. Now, if you didn't catch in the beginning of the round, Nico was actually going to sit here in Valley, we call this spot in bottom mid, and hold Underpass while Monacy was posted top mid with the op, but they came out a little bit too early, and so Nico had to turn around and address that problem. But overall, really solid round, forces Vitality on a full eco, in which case, of course, we're going to see the conversion comes in, which is going to make it a tied game. Now we have a standard round from Vitality. They're going to put a little bit of mid pressure. We have somebody creeping up Underpass. You saw Nico just naded. Like I said, it was kind of his job to be annoying to that guy. And then, of course, he's going to throw the bottom connector smoke. Now, you might know that this smoke is meta for the connector player, but you might not know why. And the reason that you want to throw it is because it actually minimizes the amount of angles that you're peeking as the connector player, because normally you have to worry about the bottom part of Con and, of course, peeking from Cat. And if you're in connector and you're holding all 4 of these at the same time, you have a lot of angles to look at. So throwing this smoke makes it really easy for the connector player to hold, and nobody wants to walk through the smoke on T side. So in this round, Nico's going to creep into Con. We're going to actually have a miss top connector smoke for Vitality, and he's going to have a gap to catch them going up Cat. They're never suspecting this. He's going to find 2. Hunter's going to step out and get a kill as well, and the round will go the way of G2. I'm going to go ahead and skip a few rounds into the future. Now, just to recap, G2 ended up winning the half 7-5, and so far this half, Vitality is up 3-0, and they have a comfortable lead. This round, we're going to drop Nico the hero AK because of course we are, and we need him to get active in the round. Now, on a round like this, the idea is of course to let everybody get baited by Nico. That way he can try to get a kill in return for their life lost, and then get another gun to give to somebody else on the team. Of course, that doesn't end up going the way of Nico this time, but it's okay. Now, unfortunately for Nico in this position, his entire team is about to get obliterated, which is going to leave him in a 1-on-5. Now, he's going to find the first kill onto Spinks as well as a quick transfer onto Zywoo. Fortunately, Flames is going to be all alone, so Nico eats that 1v1 up. Now it's a 1-on-2. Bomb is still down in Valley, though. There's a real chance that he could win this, and he knows that, so he needs to take advantage of the lost space. Now, he did just kill the Cat player, the Con player, and the Window player, so he knows that there's a big gap in towards Window. Now, because they've done their research, he knows that Mezzy and Apex are most likely to be split up right now, so he has a pretty good one-on-one if he can get into B site. Now, he is also very low, 24 HP. He doesn't have a good chance if he gets spotted first, but Mezzy gets caught looking the wrong way. Apex chose to play Firebox in this round, which meant that he didn't have any info on Cat, and that's going to betray Mezzy because he has to spot between Cat and Market. Nico has it all to play for. A 1v5, one of the most historic clutches we could be ever looking at. That hero AK is paying off, and Apex, he is looking for Nico. Can't quite find him. Needs to pick up that kit though that Mezzy left. Will find it now. Nico, he has it all to play for. He really does. Patiently waiting, steps out, but unfortunately it's not going to be the kill. Apex secures the clutch, and that will be a 9th round for Vitality, and it will be a fatality for Nico's desk, because this is the round where he hits his desk, and then we have to have a technical timeout because Nico, well, he's having a little bit of a problem with his hand. It's bleeding. So this is the first time in CS history we've ever had a medical timeout. Thank God, by the way. I mean, I don't want to wish any bad luck on any players in the future. I hope we'd never have a medical timeout again. But yes, Nico did cut his hand when he punched a hole in his desk. And so we had to take a timeout, get that cleaned up, and then we resume play. When we come back, we have fast mid control for both teams, which means that we're about to see an absolute brawl. We're swinging out mid here. Mulbs finds Spinks making the cat jump. Unfortunate for him, Zywoo wasn't able to hit that shot. Flames finds one in return, but unfortunately Apex will get caught by Mulbs, and then Flames actually gets a second trade onto Mulbs, so it's a 3-on-3. Mezzy overextends a little bit in towards Cat, but then Flames gets a third kill in the round. Now it's a 2v1. Trades all over the place. It's Zywoo now trying to win a 1-on-2. By the way, if we haven't checked in on Zywoo, but he is 25-1. He's had a pretty insane game so far, so he is absolutely poised to win this one if he can just pick the right site. But unfortunately for Zywoo, he will not be lucky today, and he will have no choice but to save. Now in this round, we have a pretty convincing B split coming in from G2. Snacks is going up Cat, but doesn't actually see Spinks in the ladder room, so we have to have a pretty good hold. Spinks is going to take advantage of that timing, killing Snack, and then Mezzy and Apex are going to have a crazy crossfire. Mezzy sitting in towards bench is going to find one. Nico is scrambling, trying to find anything he can, but that's when Apex reveals himself on top of the ninja box. But wait, it's a 2-on-2 now, and Flames is coming in on the flank, and the saved op from Zywoo is still in the picture. Not looking so good if you're a G2 fan here, and oh no, Zywoo misses a crazy shot, but luckily Flames is going to be in apps. He's going to take care of things before they can get out of hand and steal another round back for Vitality. And then Vitality are actually going to go on to win the next gun round as well, which puts us on to 11-8, and the money is not good at all for G2. Somehow they were able to scrape together a decent enough buy. All 5 of them have AKs, but they're really at the end of their rope here, and it gets even worse when you see that Apex has found a serious gap in apartments. He knows that there's nobody in towards B, which means that they have to be doing an A finish here. Luckily, the timing isn't too bad for G2 though, because they can actually exec before the rotates can come in, and now Snacks is going to be creeping up Khan. He's going to find a crazy kill onto Flames over the connector box there, and Mulbs is actually going to get a kill as well. It's a 5-on-3. This wasn't supposed to go the way of G2. Spinks now gets a trade back, and the smoke in connector and the molly in jungle actually means that there isn't really a lot of hope. Apex gets blinded, tries to get the kill. Oh, he really should have gone down there, but he doesn't. I think he realizes now that he got extremely lucky, and he just turns around and calls for the save. Remember, this is the semifinals. They're really close to winning this game. They don't want to lose all their guns here because they won't have enough money to buy if they do. So I actually really respect the call here to save, and that's exactly what's going to happen. They're going to save in apps, which will be 9 for G2. Again, this game is extremely back and forth, and if you thought it would stop now, well, I've got news for you, because it doesn't. We're going to have straight A smokes for G2. Nico is lining up that Palace Molotov. We're going to watch him throw it here. You saw where he was standing. There's the lineup coming in, mulling under balcony, and it's going to be the hit coming in. Mulbs gets a clean entry. Spinks just tries to play off of Apex here. He's going to find the first one. Not really anything crazy. Mulbs needs a trade. He doesn't find it. Well, at least he's mollied. Oh no, Monacy missed a shot as well. Snacks in a 1-on-2, but remember that gap that Apex found last round? Well, it still exists, and Mezzy had pushed that entire time. That's right. Let me rewind it. Mezzy is quite literally sending it through apps the entire time this exec is coming, and that's because Apex found that gap last round. It all comes full circle. So it's going to be 12-9 for Vitality. They are very close to closing this game out. G2 decide that they want to go for instant mid control, and speaking of which, if you see this smoke that Nico's throwing, that is actually instant window. If you're curious on how to throw those, I'm going to leave a link in the top right of my video on how to throw instant window smokes. Now, let's paint the picture for what could be the final round for G2. Monacy has just enough money for an op, and he wants to go challenge Zywoo, who has been having quite a game, but he's cooled off significantly since the last time we checked in on him. So we're going to start the round with top mid smokes and that instant window smoke that Nico through. Monacy looking for the pick here. Oh no. Well, that's a clean opening for Zywoo onto Monacy. It is an immediate 5-on-4 for Vitality. It's looking pretty bleak now. Luckily, Hunter will find the kill onto Apex, who was in underpass, so it's not quite over yet. So off the back of Monacy's death, Snacks will pick up the op, and they're going to continue taking mid. Now, it's a 4-on-4, and it's very likely that Vitality are going to refight mid at some point in this round. So they're going to prepare for that by getting Nico onto this ledge. I'm not sure if it has a name, but he's going to be up here, and that Molotov actually isn't going to tick him, which makes a really good position, because that means that anybody walking up Cat won't be ready for him. Now, Nico is going to be holding short, And as you can see, he's about to get the kill onto Mezzy. In the meantime, Snacks is going to be holding window. Which one is it? He's number 9. He's going to be holding window, and they're going to go 1 for 1 at the exact same time. Now Snacks is going to get that kill, and then immediately peeks into short, hits a crazy shot onto Spinks, and then of course Nico gets the second onto Flames. And look at that, we have a clean conversion for G2, and look at what they're facing right here. The money, it is absolutely broken. Round number 24, it's the round that they need to win to secure overtime. And what do we call if we're G2? Well, we're gonna have Monacy go for an op pick in apps, and we're also gonna have the rest of the guys fake mid pressure. So let's look at what they threw. They threw top mid, they also threw window, which makes it really uncomfortable for Vitality. Now remember, Vitality has already had a few rounds where they've struggled to hold mid, so it's actually pretty interesting that they do that mid pressure and then have Stacks on the second T op, which I don't know if I've seen in quite some time on Mirage, to go Palace. Because what is the natural reaction of whenever you get smoked off window? You come jungle and you hold Palace. I wonder if the original idea was for Snacks to take an opening onto Zywoo here with that extra op, and since he's the IGL, if he goes down, he just believes that his troops will win it. Well, I'm not sure, but either way, the Palace will get smoked off and we're gonna completely reset. In the meantime, while I've skipped ahead, we have a complete mid re-aggression for the boys on Vitality. They have full info yet again on where all of G2 are, and Apex is on an island, but it doesn't really matter because remember, they know that they're not mid, and so if they just exec a site, they're gonna be doing pretty decent. At least I'd like to think so, because they can spam any of the smokes, and they're going to be rotating fast into the site. Like, they are going to feel like there's 5 people playing the site as long as Apex can live long enough. Now we're going to see the exec come in any second, and Nico is going to be in Palace. It's kind of an iconic position for him at this point. Molly's under balcony yet again. The rest of the guys are coming in. He nades the Palace smoke, and he's coming through. Spams on top of the balcony, doesn't see anything. Spots Apex, hits a crazy shot, and then the transfer on to Flames. A clean 5-on-2, but it's not quite over yet because this gap has been exploited again. Spinks is pushed in towards top mid. So there's a real chance that they could win this. Snacks actually almost goes down, hits the leg shot, and it's going to be Nico in Palace. Now, if Spinks can get this kill onto Nico fast enough, which I think he will, I don't believe Nico has any idea that this could be coming. Look at that, Nico none the wiser. There's actually a chance that they can maybe get this last second defuse here. Snacks is aware, actually goes down as well, but unfortunately, Spinks is now left all alone, and it's only a matter of time before we go to overtime. And we're going to find ourselves right away into the second half of overtime. Now, in case you're worried, the first half, G2 got 2 rounds. They had 1 A execute that worked, 1 that didn't, and then they did a B contact, which was really good. I thought it was a nice call, but it wasn't that exciting, so I'll leave it out of the video. This round, we have Nico back in connector, standard mid control for Vitality, followed up by a nice push into ramp. Now, this will happen a lot. I've talked about this on Ancient before. We have the push and pull. When the T's take mid, you want to get away, so we want to take into apps or into ramp, and that's exactly what's going to happen here, because now, if they come mid to A, we have ramp to hold from, and we can crossfire with ticket, or we can actually send somebody on the flank, which is exactly what we're going to do. Nico going all the way around. Here's full info. Apex is running into apartments, and now the B split is coming in. Nico has it all. He has everything right here. He has all the information, but his teammates just cannot get any kills. 19 seconds in a 1 versus 3. Nico steps out apartments, finds both of the kills, and drops the bomb, drops a molly onto it as well, and leaves Apex no choice other than to try to fight him and get the kill. But when he makes that sound cue, Nico will peek him and closes out the 1v3 onto the same man who stole the 1v5 from him earlier. And even though his hand might still be stinging from breaking his desk, he will be smiling knowing that he just got his team onto match point. But if you thought that Vitality was going to give up easily, then you are sadly mistaken, because here we have a classic Vitality call, which is 3-2. We have 3 people coming in towards mid and 2 people going in towards Palace. Now, this is the idea. They want to put enough mid pressure to where they can have 2 people walk out Palace early and try to trade the A player and make it a little weird. But unfortunately, Palace is going to get smoked, which is going to mean that Apex is going to reset, which is going to put them into stage 2 of the round, which is going to be where they're going to take mid late, and Nico is going to make it a little annoying while his teammates are in crossfires on the other sides of the map. Now, Nico, remember, like I told you, it's kind of his job to make it annoying for the underpass player, so he's checking underpass, falling under window. He's kind of just listening for sound cues more than anything, trying to do a little bit of damage, but he doesn't end up hearing anything, so they're going to give mid control. This is very common for the CTs to do late round, where they let let them have mid, and in return they play 2 on each site. 50 seconds on the clock here, and you may have noticed earlier that Snacks is going to go down getting information in apartments, which looks like it could be troll on paper anyway, but if you remember that if he pushes here and sees nothing, he knows that they have to be A. Remember what happened to them last half. So this push this late into the round is actually really solid, and he will find the lurker in apartments, which still means that they're probably going A. Now off the back of that, Monisi is going to jump spot, a nice little jump spot here where he catches Zywoo holding cat, and he tries to equalize, but he unfortunately cannot, leaving mobs on an island. Luckily, Zywoo's going to overheat into Nico, and he has a chance to maybe make this round winnable if they make a big mistake. Wait a minute, that's exactly what's happening, and now Hunter needs to make the next move. Nico is pinned in this corner, and his cousin needs to bail him out. They know the Sphinx was in apartments earlier because he's the one that took down Snacks. Hunter needs to make the next move. Again, Nico, he cannot do anything first. Sphinx actually goes down. It's really looking possible here. Vitality, don't lose this. This is the round that decides if you're going to stay in this semifinal. Nico creeping up. CT completely catches Mezzi off guard. All of a sudden, it's only Flames in a 1-on-2, and there's so little time. Nico, he's on a heater. His hand is bleeding. Can he finish things off? Unfortunately, he cannot. Flames saves the day. It is going to be 15-14. Round number 30. Who's going to come out on top? So here we go. Kicking things off, Monisi going for a very aggressive Palace pick here, and he's going to find Apex hit. He gets the kill. A clean opening for G2. They have everything on the line now. Nico sitting in connector actually hears them making noise in mid, so Monisi is going to reposition. He knows that they are expecting him to stay towards A, and you may notice here that Nico has completely given up connector, and they are not fighting for mid, and that is not by mistake. They want the T's to take mid, because if the T's take mid, then they're going to walk into Monisi, who has repositioned from Palace to Catwalk, hits the shot onto Mezzi. 5 versus 3. There's not a lot that you can do now if you're Vitality. You need Zywoo to bail you out. He's been on one all game, and this is his time to rise to the occasion. Snacks and Monisi are double opping at B. If they go B, they just lose. That's really the reality of the situation here. Any second, they're going to go for it. Monisi posted up. They are boosted. Cat, he spots the shadow. Flames drops right into his crosshair. Snacks peeks into Zywoo and takes him out. Sphinx, he has been saving the day all day. Can he do it one more time? Monisi legs him through apartments before he puts a bullet in his head and secures grand finals for G2. I will be covering that match tomorrow with Zywoo. I'll see you guys then. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you guys made it this far, and leave a like. I really do appreciate it. Everybody who watches these reviews, make sure you guys comment your guys' favorite part, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye. Much love.